Hey everyone, and welcome to the Bitcoin Street Journal Market Update. I'm Melody.
And I'm Lara. We're super excited to be back with you today, diving into all the latest and greatest happenings in the world of Bitcoin.
Absolutely. We've got a jam-packed show for you today, Lara. We're going to be dissecting Bitcoin's reaction to, well, all the global craziness that's going on. I mean, the tensions and inflation and how Bitcoin might actually be a safe haven in all of this. It's kind of wild.
Totally. And we're also going to be talking about some really interesting corporate plays we're seeing. I mean, you see all these companies now putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets, Semler, Interactive Strength. It's becoming a trend, right? We got to unpack that.
Oh, yeah. And we definitely can't forget about regulation or, well, trying to figure it out at least, from stablecoin bills to, Meta facing some heat about their plans. We'll break down what it all means for us.
Totally. And some cool innovation stuff. We're going to look at how companies like Stripe are getting even more into crypto. And just, all those rumors about Apple, X, and Google finally playing ball with stablecoins. Major, if true. And for all of you hodlers out there, we're going to be diving deep into why Bitcoin's, well, potentially the ultimate generational wealth play. Pretty exciting stuff, right? Yeah.
And last but not least, we're going to be chatting about the Nostr protocol and how it is integrated with the Bitcoin ecosystem moving forward. It's a game changer, and all of you can set up Nostr profiles and check it out today by visiting thebitcoinstreetjournal.com and clicking login at the top of the page.
So buckle up, folks. It's going to be a fun ride. We're going to try to keep it educational, but, also super entertaining.
Let's get started. All right, so let's kick things off with the big picture, right? How is Bitcoin reacting to everything happening in the world? I mean, we've got headlines about geopolitical tensions and then inflation all over the place.
Exactly. I saw one that said Bitcoin drops as world tensions rise, but then another that says 200K still in play. It's so confusing, right? So how do we even make sense of that?
Well, it's that classic push and pull, on one hand, when there's crazy stuff happening globally, people tend to, flock to safe havens. Traditionally, that's been gold. But now, more and more people are seeing Bitcoin as a digital alternative.
Right, but then the tensions also cause uncertainty, and people sell off risky assets, which Bitcoin still is in a lot of people's minds, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it gets caught in the crossfire. But what's interesting is how it's also reacting to inflation news. I saw Bitcoin climb slightly as U.S. reports inflation slowed in May. So when inflation looks like it might be cooling down, there's this hope that the Fed might, cut rates.
Oh yeah, lower rates, more risk on behavior, and suddenly Bitcoin looks a lot more attractive again. It's like this whole complex dance, Totally. And that article also mentioned easing tariff fears and cooling inflation may boost Bitcoin, potentially prompting Fed rate cuts and renewed retail crypto interest. It's people are waiting on the sidelines, ready to jump back in if things look even a little bit better.
Right. So it's not just about being a hedge against fiscal crises. It's also about reading the tea leaves of macroeconomics and trying to predict what the Fed's going to do. Kind of makes you wonder, is Bitcoin just becoming another part of the traditional financial system?
Okay, so speaking of companies getting involved, did you see what Semler Scientific is doing? They're just going all in on Bitcoin?
Oh yeah, Semler.
Wasn't that the one Tom Lee was talking about as a granny shot portfolio pick? The Bitcoin treasury company's market cap has tumbled below the value of its BTC holdings. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, they just keep buying more. The headline says they expanded their Bitcoin holdings to 4,449 BTC. I mean, that's a serious commitment.
It is. I think it sends a message, right? They're clearly betting big on Bitcoin as a long-term store of value. It's they're putting their money where their mouth is, literally. But it's not just Semler, right? I saw that NASDAQ-listed Interactive Strength, yeah, I've never heard of them, plans to invest $500 million in Fetch.ai's FET token to build an AI-focused crypto treasury. What's that about?
Yeah, that's a little different, right? It's not just Bitcoin, but it's investing in an AI-related crypto asset. So it sounds like they're trying to kind of tie into the whole AI narrative too.
So it's like, okay, we get crypto and now we get AI too. Does it make sense for companies to do that?
Well, it's interesting because it signals a growing trend of, public companies seeing digital assets, I mean, not even just Bitcoin, right, as a strategic investment. Like, it's not just about holding cash, it's about diversifying their treasury with assets that they think will appreciate and value or, even tie into their core business.
So are we going to see like every company putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet? Like, is that the future of corporate finance or just something that these kind of niche companies are doing?
I don't know if every company will do it, but I think it shows that the conversation around corporate treasury management is changing. It's like they're thinking more creatively about how to, deploy their capital, and Bitcoin is definitely part of that conversation now.
Definitely. And it just seems like more and more companies are starting to realize that, this isn't just a fad. Bitcoin is here to stay.
Okay, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about regulation, right? Because, it's not all sunshine and rainbows with Bitcoin. There's definitely that whole regulatory aspect that everyone's watching.
Oh, yeah, the R word. It's always looming, isn't it? So what's been happening?
Well, the Senate's, actually making progress on a stablecoin bill. I mean, can you believe it? It feels like it's been talked about forever, but it's actually moving forward now.
Right, I saw that. Finally something concrete-ish.
But, on the other hand, Meta's stablecoin plans are still facing a ton of scrutiny. Like, Senators Warren and Blumenthal are all over them, asking all sorts of questions about lobbying and how it will all work.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren is definitely not a fan.
No, definitely not. But it's not just the U.S. either, right? The Philippines are enacting crypto rules too. So, it's a global thing. Everyone's trying to figure out how to regulate the space.
Right. Makes sense. I mean, when you have all the scams and hacks, people are going to start paying attention and want to do something about it.
Totally. I mean, it's about protecting consumers, right? And maintaining financial stability. It's a balancing act. You want to foster innovation, but you also need to make sure people aren't getting ripped off.
What about those Circle IPO rumors we keep hearing? Is that actually going to happen?
Well, Circle did reject Ripple's $5 billion buyout, and now, they're valued at over $20 billion. So, whether it's rumors or not, these public offerings definitely legitimize the market.
Oh, totally. So, more and more normies might start investing in crypto when they see big names like that going public.
Exactly. And there's also talk about potential Solana ETFs. Can you imagine?
Oh, wow. Another ETF? I mean, everyone's jumping on the ETF bandwagon, it seems. That would be huge for Sol, right?
I think so. Could give Solana the boost to be the next ETF for institutions after ETH.
So, Lara, speaking of adoption, did you catch that Stripe is cozying up to crypto even more? They're acquiring Privy.
Oh, yeah, the crypto wallet tech firm? What's the deal with that?
Well, Stripe's basically trying to supercharge their Web3 capabilities. They want to make it easier for businesses to integrate crypto payments and, manage digital assets and stuff like that. Ah, okay, makes sense. Because Stripe's huge, right? Huge. And this move, it kind of signals that they're really serious about crypto becoming mainstream, right? I mean, think about it. They process payments for a gazillion companies.
Okay, that's pretty big news. What else is brewing in the land of innovation?
Well, there's all this buzz about Apple, X, and Google actually holding talks with crypto firms about stablecoin integration.
No way. Seriously?
Yes. Seriously, imagine being able to use a stable coin to pay for stuff on Twitter or in the Apple App Store. I mean, it would be kind of revolutionary.
Okay, see, That's what I'm talking about. That's like real world adoption. I mean, we've been talking about this for years, right? But it feels like it's finally starting to happen.
Totally. It's like the big tech companies are finally waking up to the potential of crypto and realizing that they can't ignore it anymore, right?
Right. And speaking of which, like, didn't PayPal expand their PYSD stablecoin thingy to Stellar? Like, they're joining Ethereum and Solana, right?
Right. They're trying to make it easier for people to use their stablecoin in different ecosystems, and reach more users. It's like they're laying the groundwork for the future of payments. I guess all those retail investors need a little bit of innovation to hop on the Bitcoin maximalism train. Right. Well, the most important thing to take away from this is that we're going to see more and more integration of crypto into our everyday lives. It's not just some niche thing for tech nerds anymore, right?
It's actually kind of exciting thinking about all the possibilities.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so like stepping back a bit, I keep hearing about this idea of Bitcoin as like generational wealth. What's the deal with that?
Well, it's kind of simple, actually, in an age where, fiat currencies are being devalued left and right and traditional investments seem kind of shaky. Bitcoin's emerging as like a solid store of value, you know?
Right, because like there's only going to be 21 million of them ever, right?
Exactly. Scarcity is a big part of it. It's almost like digital gold, right? So people are starting to see it as something they can pass down to their kids and grandkids.
Huh. So instead of, leaving them stocks that might tank or like real estate that could get hit by a hurricane, you leave them Bitcoin.
Yeah, or, a little bit of both. But the idea is that Bitcoin, theoretically at least, it can hold its value if not increase over the long term. It's a hedge against like government money printing and all that jazz.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So it's like a long-term play, not just a get-rich-quick scheme.
Exactly. And, people are starting to think about Bitcoin as something they can hold on to for decades, kind of like a digital inheritance. It's pretty wild when you think about it.
Speaking of a censorship-resistant store of value, what about Nostr? Like, I'm starting to hear more and more about it. What's the deal?
Okay, Nostr. So it stands for Notes and Other Stuff Transmitted Over Relay, which I know sounds super techy, but basically it's a protocol built for censorship-resistant social media, and, well, more than just social media, actually. So how does it fit with Bitcoin exactly? Is it like another one of those side chains, or... No, it's not a side chain or anything like that. It's more like a way to build apps that are truly decentralized and resistant to, anyone trying to shut them down. So think Twitter, but like on steroids, where nobody can really control the content.
Oh, huh. So kind of a free speech haven.
Exactly. And it's attracting a lot of Bitcoiners too, because they really value that censorship resistance. Plus, there are already a bunch of cool apps being built on Nostr that integrate Bitcoin. Think Lightning Network payments, for example.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's not just about, shouting into the void, but actually building stuff that uses Bitcoin.
Yep. And it empowers individual users. No one company controls the whole network, which is a big deal. So if people wanted to check this out, where should they start? Well, we've made it super easy for them. They can just head over to thebitcoinstreetjournal.com and click login at the top of any page. You'll see a button to set up a Nostr profile really quickly, and then they can dive into that whole world.
So, as we've covered a lot today, we're curious what you, our listeners, think about all this.
Yeah, like how are you approaching Bitcoin as part of your overall investment strategy? Are you thinking long-term generational wealth, or are you, playing the shorter-term volatility game? And what are your thoughts on the evolving regulatory landscape? Are you excited about the potential Solana ETFs, or are you, a little nervous about the government getting more involved?
Because it's a double-edged sword, right? Clarity is great, but sometimes not all the rules are friendly to what we want.
Exactly. And speaking of what's coming next, we've got some
super interesting stuff lined up for future episodes. We're going to be diving deeper into Bitcoin mining, the whole energy debate around that. And we're also going to be doing a deep dive into some of the most innovative projects being built on Bitcoin. So stay tuned.
All right, so that's a wrap for this week's Bitcoin Street Journal market update.
Yeah, we covered a lot today, from global tensions impacting Bitcoin to major corporations diving in headfirst to the evolving regulatory scene. Whew.
It's like Bitcoin's not just a digital asset. It's a whole ecosystem that's constantly changing.
Absolutely. It's wild and a lot to unpack. So a huge thank you to everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate you spending your time with us.
Seriously, we love having you. And don't forget to visit thebitcoinstreetjournal.com for all the latest updates, news, and analysis.
And most importantly, head over there to set up your Nostr profile. Get connected, be part of the real Bitcoin social network.
Yeah, get on Nostr and join us there. We'll see you on the decentralized web.
Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep stacking those sats. See you on the next vlog.
Peace out, Bitcoiners.